Namaskar Mitro. This video is on second chapter of my reference material. My reference material is on rahulmehta.com/301.htm. I'll repeat, rahulmehta.com/301.htm. It's on Google Docs, and it has got about 60 chapters, one chapter for each specific problem or department of Government of India. The purpose of the book is to give information on few things such as which gazette notification drafts can reduce problems of India, and another purpose is to explain to citizens and activists what gazette notification is and why, how important it is, and also how to bring right to recall drafts in the Gazette of India. Means how to raise a mass movement so that the right to recall gazette notifications get printed. So this video is on the second chapter of the book. The second chapter is why corruption in US police and courts is less than Indian police and Indian courts. So I'll start with my personal experiences. I was in US from the year 1990 to 1999, about 9 years. Altogether I stayed for 6 years. About 3 years in that period I was in India or in UK. Now in US, traffic constable stopped me about 5 times. Completely unrelated incidents, different time, different spots. The first time when I was stopped, the constable just gave me warning and let me go. And second time, the fine, altogether all fines, was $1,500, including insurance surcharge and everything. So, but neither of the time, when there was no fine and when there was fine, neither of the time, neither of the two constables asked for even $50 of bribe. So I started wondering that how come both constables, the one which did not fine me, did not ask for any bribe, and the second constable also did not give any such hint or any such gesture that if I give him $50 bribe, he would not fine me of the tune of $1,500. So I started searching about what kind of laws, what kind of system they have, so because of which corruption in traffic constable is less. Now, Kubuddhijivi, as I call it, political scientists, they call themselves political scientists, I call them political superstitionists. Rajkiya Andhvishwas, political superstition. The political scientists, rather political superstitionists in India, attribute this to political culture. They say that culture of Indian people is corrupt and therefore corruption in India is high. Being an engineer, I always thought it is a plain vanilla nonsense, and these intellectuals are liars. So I started looking for features, if any, in the system of US because of which corruption is less. Now this is, I am talking about year 1990 to 1995. Back then even US did not have much of internet. Internet was restricted to email and some bulletin board like sock.culture.india, etc. But there was no World Wide Web, hardly any WW, and hardly any government department had World Wide Web. So I started going to public library, started sitting in their courtrooms to study how they have improved the police to an extent that no constable dares to ask for a bribe. There I found that the police commissioner in US, that is sheriff, district police commissioner, they call it sheriff. Sheriff has a specialized department called Internal Affairs, and full-time job of Internal Affairs is to set traps. What Internal Affairs department under each sheriff will do is that if they get any complaint or a hint that the particular constable is taking bribe, they will immediately set trap. They will hire some private person, he will be having camera, tape recorder, etc. They will tape the bribe taking incidents, and the constable is immediately fired or even thrown into prison. So one part was cleared, that the constable does not take bribe because the commissioner is setting traps. But again, one answer often leads to one another question which is always there in politics, that why is commissioner setting traps? why is not acting in like our commissioner in a very practical way, as people, intellectuals will call that? Why is commissioner not asking constable to take bribe, which police commissioners in India do? In India, each police commissioner gives target to PI, PSI that you must collect this much hafta, and whatever commissioner gets, he keeps about half and he passes the half to Home Minister, MLA, MP, CM, etc. So I started looking for answer is that why is police commissioner in US not giving target and instead he is setting traps on his own employee? And I found the answer in around year 1995 that citizens in US have right to recall police commissioner. That is, if citizens in a US district, if they want to expel a police commissioner, they don't have to complain before or appeal before a High Court judge or Supreme Court judge or MP, MLA, Home Minister, etc., etc. Each district has a procedure. Based on that procedure, they have to prove that the majority citizens in that district don't like that police commissioner anymore, and that police commissioner is expelled. So this basically completes the loop that citizens have control over police commissioner. Therefore, police commissioner is setting trap. He is maintaining optimal level of efficiency. He himself does not take too much bribes. Because he is setting traps, the lower ranking officer, namely PI, PSI, constable, they are working properly. They don't take bribe. And because of that, there is better control over citizenry. There is less crime. There are much less open crimes. So, as I got more information, I found that citizens in US have right to recall High Court judge in some states, like California, not all states. They have right to recall governor in about 20 states. They have almost all states, almost all districts have right to recall sheriff, that is right to recall police commissioner. They have right to recall district education officer. They have right to recall mayor, right to recall councillor, right to recall MLA. There is no right to recall president, vice president and senator, which is why the banking crisis happened in US. The banking crisis happened mainly because of corruption in senator. Senators knew that the banks are doing all this dirty business, but the senators in US were getting huge bribes from different banks, and therefore senators deliberately looked aside, did not make any law to stop it, and therefore the banking crisis came. But US has right to recall at state and district level, because of which corruption in US in state and district level is very low. Another reason why corruption in US is less is jury system. The jury system is where the verdict is given by citizens, randomly chosen citizens, that let us say there is a case between me and you, then in India the case will go to a judge. So if I have harassed 100 people and 20 of them file case against me, all 20 cases go to one judge, I'll hire relative of that judge as a lawyer and I'll get acquittal in all 20 cases. Whereas in jury system, for each case there will be 12-15 different jurors. So if I harassed, if 20 people file case against me, there will be 300 jurors that I'll have to manage, a far more complicated problem than managing one judge. I'll discuss jury system in a separate video which deals with reducing corruption and nepotism in courts. In this, I want to focus on the basics of why corruption in US police court is less. One reason is jury system, another is right to recall. Now, almost all, why say most, all politicians, MP, MLA, PM, CM, they are against right to recall in India. All of them have opposed right to recall. Advani has officially opposed right to recall. Subramanian Swamy is against right to recall. Anna Hazare too in reality is against right to recall. I call him pseudo-recallist. Pseudo-recallist means the person who pretends that he believes in right to recall, but in reality is trying to suppress and break the right to recall movement. So, one of the pet arguments that anti-recallists in India give is that right to recall is a foreign concept and therefore it should not be brought in India. You should ask those recallists whether the mobile phone they use is made in India or whether it is made in some foreign country, or whether PC they use is the chip inside the PC is made in India or made in India. So whatever goods, whatever foreign goods they like say if they like laws made by WTO, they will immediately say that this law is a good law, we should use it. But if there is a law which talks about empowerment of common man, immediately it becomes a US law and therefore it should not be used in India. Well, first of all, it is nonsense and false information that right to recall is a foreign concept. right to recall was first demanded in India in 1925 by Mahatma Chandrasekhar Azad and his guru Mahatma Sachindranath Sanyal. In 1925, Mahatma Chandrasekhar Azad said that in the republic we want to create, the citizens will have right to recall, because without right to recall, elections will become a mockery. So something that we see today is something that Mahatma Chandrasekhar Azad has foreseen in 1925, 85 years back. So officially, right to recall was demanded in India 85 years back, and before that, in 1870, Swami Dayananda Saraswati wrote the book Satyarth Prakash. In the 6th chapter of Satyarth Prakash, chapter name is Raj Dharma, which deals with duty of citizens in politics. Raj Dharma means duty. It talks about duties of citizens, duties of officers. On the very first page, Swami Dayananda Saraswati says that Raja Prajadhin hona chahiye, means king must be dependent on citizens. And second line says, यदि राजा प्रजाधीन न हुआ तो जैसे मांसाहारी पशु छोटे पशु को खा जाते हैं, वैसे वह राजवर्ग अन्याय खूसट से दंड करके प्रजा को लूट लेगा और इस तरह से राष्ट्र का नाश होगा. That is, king must be dependent on citizens, prajadhin, and if the king is not dependent on citizens, then such a king will rob the citizens using false laws, bad laws. The citizenry will become weak and the nation will be destroyed. So, Prajadhin Raja, right to recall is a procedure by which citizens can keep king dependent on citizen. And Swami Dayananda Saraswati took both the shlok from Atharva Ved, which was written thousands and thousands of years back. So, right to recall is very much an Indian concept. It's the corrupt politicians like Subramanian Swamy, Sonia Gandhi, Pranab Mukherjee is also against right to recall, Advani. These people want the corruption in MP MLAs to go unchecked, and therefore they are opposing right to recall by saying that this is a foreign concept and should not be used in India. Right to recall is very much an Indian concept. As I have given two citations, I have given citation of Mahatma Chandrasekhar Azad and also citation from Dayananda Saraswati ji's Satyarth Prakash. Now, in India, right to recall was also demanded by M.N. Roy in 1946, and later it was demanded by Jayaprakash Narayan. Jayaprakash Narayan's principal demand in 1970s, early 1970s, was right to recall, because he asked for resignation of Indira Gandhi, Devi Indira Amma. I consider her as a goddess. And one of the questions that he was confronted with, that Indira Gandhi has won election, so how can you demand resignation before 1975? Indira Gandhi won election in 1971. So, giving the reply, Jayaprakash Narayan has said that citizens have right to recall Prime Minister, right to recall MP any day, any time. They need not wait for 5 years. Ram Manohar Lohia made a classic statement कि सिर्फ मुर्दा कौम 5 साल तक इंतजार करती है. That is, only dead people will wait for 5 years. Meaning that citizens have right to recall any person before the 5-year term ends. So, one of the principal campaign point in 1975 was the right to recall. Based on the right to recall, Jayaprakash Narayan got about 380 MPs. Many of the politicians you see today, such as Mulayam Yadav, Lalu Yadav, Nitish Kumar, Ram Vilas Paswan, Sharad Yadav, they are all, you can say, students of Jayaprakash Narayan. And once upon a time, they were all proponents of right to recall. They were all demanding right to recall, just as I am demanding today. But the day they became MP, Nitish Kumar started opposing right to recall. Lalu Yadav opposed right to recall. Mulayam Singh Yadav opposed right to recall. All of them said that right to recall is a useless idea. And even today, all of them are opposing right to recall. And none of them brought right to recall in their states or districts, in their states where they have been chief minister for several years. So, right to recall demand was a very principal political demand, a main political demand in 1970s of India, but after death of Jayaprakash Narayan, it died down. I will give a brief historical background of right to recall, that how it originated. As I said, that it is mentioned in the Atharva Ved. Right to recall was also there in Greece. both jury system and right to recall was there in Greece, and it was one of the principal reason that Greece became so powerful that 50,000 soldiers or 1 lakh soldiers of Greece under Alexander could win all the way from Turkey to Yamuna river. Alexander started with hardly 50,000 to 1 lakh soldiers, and he could conquer all the areas from Turkey to Iraq, Persia, that is Iran, Afghanistan, a big chunk of Pakistan, and he could come all the way, and he came all the way to Yamuna river. And principal reason why Greeks had become so powerful was right to recall and jury system. The Greek nation states, city states, Greek city states had this procedure that they can assemble in one big ground and the king can be expelled. Was this procedure ever used? Answer is no, because since the procedure existed, no king misbehaved to an extent that citizens will need to use a recall on him. But one thing to be kept in mind, that even though Alexander could win all the way from Greece to Yamuna, the citizens in Macedonia had procedure by which they could have expelled Alexander any day. After that, right to recall was there in Rome, but it was never used because Rome population was so huge that assembly in one ground was not an option anymore, and whatever may be the reason, the Romans did not invent or discover booth system. The booth system is different from assembly. Assembly means that all citizens have to assemble at one point and take a decision, which is not possible if the nation is distributed over several thousand miles and has a huge population. So alternative, that is booth system, that is each 1 square kilometer or 5 square kilometer area will have a booth where citizens will assemble or vote, and the numbers from that booth will go to one central location and tabulation will be done. The booth system did not come into existence till about 1200 AD. So even though right to recall was there in Rome, it was never used and was something that was only in paper. Right to recall was demanded by many persons. One person I will mention is Frederick Engels. I will give quotation by Frederick Engels in the book Introduction to Karl Marx, The Civil War in France. In the book, Frederick Engels says, from the very outset of commune was compelled to recognize that the working class, once come to power, could not go on managing with the old state machine, and that in order to lose again its only just conquered supremacy, this working class must on the other hand do away with the old repressive machinery previously used against itself, and on the other safeguard itself from its own deputies and officials. So Frederick Engels says that the working class has two problems. One, working class has to defend itself from the old enemies, and it has to defend itself from its own deputies and officials. How? By declaring all without exception subject to recall at any moment. So Frederick Engels way back in year 1870 had suggested that the day working class comes into power, they must introduce right to recall. I am not pro-Marx and I am not pro-Engels either. As such, I would call myself anti-Marxist because much of I don't believe in state-owned economy concept. But one thing that Marx and Frederick Engels had mentioned clearly is that the communist government from day one must have right to recall, otherwise they will fail. As of today, all Communist Party MPs, including Somnath Chatterjee, are against right to recall. Somnath Chatterjee is a pseudo-recallist. Every year, every 3 months. Every 3 months he will play a record of right to recall, which he has been doing for 30 years. Every 30 years, every 3 months he will play right to recall, right to recall, right to recall 5 times, as if he is putting some namaz. But in his 25 years of a career as an MP, he never submitted right to recall draft in Parliament. And all the drafts that came to Somnath Chatterjee, that different political activists submitted, he used to tear apart all the drafts, saying that this draft is bad, this draft, and he would never give his own draft. The person only gave lip service. The Somnath Chatterjee is a big liar. He only gave lip service to right to recall, otherwise he always opposed every right to recall draft and he never gave draft himself. in his 25 years of career as an MP. Now, I'll give another quotation by Stalin. Stalin says that, I would like to give you some advice to the candidate, and then in the long quotation that I have written in my book, section 2.5.5. Again, my reference material is at rahulmehta.com/301.htm. Stalin has said, these circumstances were taken into consideration by our constitution and made it a law that electors will have right to recall their deputies. So Stalin also introduced right to recall. Of course, as far as Stalin goes, the right to recall was a farce, because anyone who demand right to recall will probably disappear. I support Stalin because he created a very powerful military, because of which Russia is surviving even today. Without such a powerful military, Russia would have become Iraq long back. But Stalin, at least on paper, supported right to recall, though in practice he never supported right to recall. So his quote is just a quote. Now, as I said that in India, right to recall was proposed by was proposed by Mahatma Chandrasekhar Azad in 1925. It was proposed by M.N. Roy in 1946. But all Communist Party MPs and MLAs have opposed right to recall. CPM, CPI MPs, they have all been opposing right to recall from day one. And Jayaprakash Narayan demanded it, and when Jayaprakash Narayan passed away in year 1979, the right to recall movement died out. In 1998, I started the right to recall movement, and my principal demand has been right to recall over all positions, from Supreme Court Chief Judge to Sarpanch. Every person from Supreme Court Chief Judge to Sarpanch should be recallable. That includes all government officials at district level. Below district, there will be jury trial, but right to recall Supreme Court Judge, right to recall High Court Chief Judge, right to recall PM, CM, right to recall RBI Governor, right to recall Lokpal, right to recall CBI Director, and all the positions all the way up to Collector, District Education Officer, District Supply Officer, and so forth. And amongst elected positions, there should be right to recall over PM, CM, MLA, MP, Mayor, Corporator, and all the Panchayat member and Sarpanch. Now, in 2009, when I contested election, there were about 9,000 candidates all over India. There were about 20 candidates in my constituency. All 9,000 have been opposing right to recall. You can call any one of them, ask them. All of them oppose giving right to recall draft. No candidate of the 9,000, 10,000 candidates in 2009 who contested Lok Sabha election, none of them gave right to recall draft except myself. I was the only person who proposed that this is the Gazette notification draft I propose. I have given different Gazette notification, right to recall PM, right to recall CM, etc. in the book. So, and after that, many activists came to know about right to recall, and they showed keen interest in it. And fortunately, today I have about 300-400 activists in India who are spending about 3-4 hours a week in campaigning for right to recall. You may say it's a small number, may say it's a large number, but that's what our current status is, that from 1998 till 2009, I had about 20-25 activists, and today there are about 300 to 400 activists who are spending about 4-5 hours a week in campaigning for right to recall. But all political parties have opposed right to recall, including new political parties and new political group. For example, India Against Corruption is not a political party, but it is very much a political group. They don't hide about it. They have been opposing right to recall. They have opposed right to recall Jan Lokpal. You can, Anna officially, Anna asked his activists to oppose right to recall Jan Lokpal. Each of the Chote Anne means the small Anne who are with Anna. They have opposed right to recall Jan Lokpal. They have asked their activists that do not ask for right to recall Jan Lokpal. If somebody is asked for right to recall Jan Lokpal, we will expel him from India Against Corruption group, we will stop inviting him, etc., etc. And all politicians such as Subramanian Swamy has opposed right to recall. And the reason is very simple, that multinational companies are giving huge amount of money to TV channels and newspaper to project all these politicians and Anna Hazare. Entire Anna is basically a product of MNC TV channels. MNCs such as Walmart, etc. Gave huge money to TV channels in order to project Anna. And Anna knows that if he supports right to recall, next day Walmart will, and Ambani and etc., they will stop giving money to TV channels to project him. Congress, of course, has been opposed to right to recall from day one. It has been a British party, and today it is completely owned by Americans and MNCs and missionaries. So Congress will, of course, oppose right to recall. Communist Party, as we all know, are agents of China, and now some of them have become CIA agents because the US has more money than China. So they oppose right to recall, and BJP, most of them are opposed to right to recall. You can call individual MPs, but Advani has officially opposed right to recall, and Advani has told every MP that anyone who supports right to recall will be expelled from the party. RSS leaders too have asked all its district level pracharak etc. to oppose right to recall, stop the campaigning of right to recall, and there are some RSS members, such as one very patriotic person is MC Vaidya. He has supported right to recall openly. In India, Rajiv Dixit ji has been supporting right to recall since 1996. On YouTube, you will find 4 video tapes of Rajiv Dixit ji which support right to recall. But other than Swami Ramdev ji supported Rajiv Dixit ji, and Swami Ramdev ji knew that Dixit ji supports right to recall, and all along Swami Ramdev ji has been supporting Rajiv Dixit ji till he passed away. But other than 2 senior leaders, other than 2 big politicians, namely Swami Ramdev ji and Rajiv Dixit ji, all of them have been opposed to right to recall. So this was about my chapter 2, that why corruption in US police and court is less than Indian police and court. The main reason is right to recall police commissioner, right to recall district judge, right to recall high court judge, and jury system. And by bringing these 2 laws in India, we can reduce corruption in India. The subsequent my videos are on other 60 chapters. There will be 1 video on each chapter, and they discuss each topic in depth. Dhanyavad.